Hello, everyone, and welcome to game not number 2, but number 1, because this is the first game in the series of JSMS versus YP. On this side, we have, of course, Source TV playing Monster versus the JSMS Hunter team. And before we get into the names, I wanted to let you know that I have someone beautiful and talented with me today, aka Tag the Monsters. We're going into the game now. And if those of you that didn't watch the previous video in the VOD, go check it out. But he's going to be with me today. How you doing?
Good, fantastic. Really happy to be here. And after seeing these picks, I'm really excited to see this match. This is going to be awesome.
So we're going in now. We are on Armory, which is a nice map. As you mentioned in the previous part, does actually have a great feeding route. So it'll be nice to see what they're able to do. That Source does have a large plethora of feeding options available to him. So he'll be able to go through, get his feeding up. But what do you think about his ability choice? He's going with a 1-point Banshee with a 2-point Vortex for stage 1 as Monster.
I think it's very smart. Banshee will cause a lot of what's the word? Like disorientation, like having to focus on them, especially with a Torvald. Torvald is not the strongest pick against Banshee mines. Like a Markov is usually what you want, and then the Vortex is just such a strong knockback. So it's very smart picks. Knockback to get the hunters away from you if they get too close, and Banshee mines to do the damage and cause disorientation.
And we're already off to a very interesting start, doing the standard route, and then of course doing a loop back. What you'll notice is that under here he is choosing to feed underneath because he does actually have cover, which means no birds will be spawned, and he's not enough meats there for him to actually trigger that. But this Megamouth might actually give him away if they spot it. Yeah, that Megamouth gave him away because he heard the Megamouth.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
so now
rough.
the hunters have a good lead on where he's going. So he's got to do something right now to lose them.
So we're looking at this though. We actually have the perks up as well. We have damage output being chosen by Source TV, which means he's going to have extra 10%, which is great if you're going against a Hank because it allows you to burn through those shields. I'm sure you know as a Hank, when someone's running damage, it just hurts your shields so much.
Yeah, you have to really. The key with like playing a support in the shield is just to time it. You don't want to waste it with like random like hits. You want to save it for the big abilities because it's so precious and so clutch sometimes. You just like you gotta savor it.
Yeah, and this is something that right now is coming into such a huge factor, being able to get that damage in and just do everything he can to try and survive. He started even with a stealth start because he didn't want to get caught at the relay down below, like the lower relay. He wanted to make sure he had the ability to traverse up and spot everything. We are noticing right now, if we look at Tentuki, he's on a great spot on the high ground, being able to launch his mortars over there. LV is playing Trapper, throwing out this Gobi, just making sure you're able to get a spot line. Source is, however, on this side, looking to get a loop or some kind of cover. That way he can properly mitigate in this dome, because he is not evolve ready. So he's just trying to get what he can and see if he can sneak some food quick while he's in this corner.
Yeah, they just have him pinned down right there, trying to play it out and see the best dome option they can get right now.
So we see more Gobi being thrown. This is similar to what we saw yesterday in TGL and Battlefy with the matches. We saw a large amount of discipline and hunters waiting instead of going into the monster. The dome is in control of the Trapper, and a well-disciplined Trapper is worth their weight in gold.
Oh yeah, because the clock is still in place, so they're going to let him sit there and waste time, which is less time for him to actually take advantage and go stage 2 or stage 3. So, because right now they have the advantage at stage 1. I mean, the monster does do good damage, but as long as he can't get to stage 2 or stage 3, then they're in the clear.
Yep. And we're looking here, he was able to finish up his evolve meter by vortexing Tentuki onto the low ground and actually getting his meats in. So now he is evolve ready, which means he's actually okay with the dome occurring at this point, because he can leave and evolve. So now you're seeing him get a little bit more aggressive with his positioning. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't get domed over on that side, because he's going to get domed, which means that he's going to have to deal with a large amount of damage. So he's going to throw Banshee Mines and everything else to slow him down. Monster's been captured, though, with a 0-loop dome. Holy moly, this is a perfect dome.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for the hunters to get in good health damage and just melt that armor off.
Yeah, and they also have Crow, so they're constantly chipping away at that with those charge shots. So even if they don't break armor, which it looks like they're going through it so quick.
I feel like Crow does do a really good job at melting the armor with his regular auto attacks. The only time I'd really use the charge shot is when like it's a clutch scenario, because his auto shots are very good for melting that armor away.
Yeah. And they're doing such a great shot at getting this damage on. Jesus is constantly shooting, and we got LV in the back just chipping away. So far, only through a bar and a half as they're just going through as much as they can. And as you see Source TV just going through every corner that he can find in this perfect dome. Like, this dome is a flawlessly positioned dome. If you want to be able to deal constant damage, he is trapped in such a small, confined area with no ways to mitigate. Like, there are no options here. Like, people talk about God domes and how OP they are. You get a monster in a stage 1 dome like this, they are in a very rough position, as no matter what he did there, he already lost 3 bars of health out of his total 5. So he's going to be on the run. More of these mortars are on the run. We're just seeing them launching. You're seeing those gray smoke trails. There's Crow just shooting him right in the face. We're keeping right up with him as he's getting stasis. And everything's just being done to deal tons of damage to him. What can you do at this point in order to come back?
He needs to just turn around and shoot vortexes and do anything he can to get knocked back. Maybe some wildlife get in the way. He just needs to get distance and get that Evo out as fast as possible. That's the only thing that can help him right now, because right now it's looking a little rough for him. I mean, he will get a good amount of health back. Oh, he's going for the Evo right now. Wow, this is going to be really close. They're going to be right there.
This is 30 meters, and they get bonus damage when he's in the Evolve, and this is going to be a full mortar shot. Let's see if it connects. Does it connect? Oh my god, the damage is down. He's already lost a bar. More of it coming. More damage, going to be down to 3, if not 4 bars of health gone, plus the bonus armor off the Evolve. So any health he gained from the Evolve has now been lost during the stage Evolve. Yeah, he's at 2.25 bars. That damage.
I could have seen where it would have been necessary to Evolve, but I think he could have gone a little more distance. I mean, he can build back armor, and he is doing more damage now, so we'll see how it plays, but I think the Hunters still have a very good advantage right now.
And especially with Crow on the field, even if they just stay on him and get these charge shots off, that's slowly going to whittle down his bar and a half. I'm sorry, bar at 90% or whatever. That small amount.
Those Tranks are just killing him.
He's got stasis, and he's got Tranks and mortars. Right now we're watching Tentuki just have his mortars, and he's on point with them too, so he's just all over the place dealing tons of damage, just melting through this armor. Like, Source is in a very rough spot right now. However, he can come back, despite the fact that his odds say 9%. We have seen Source do it before.
I think what he really needs right now is try to take no damage, make them waste a dome, but don't take any damage. And I think if he gets a free Stage 3 Evolve and gets full armor, I think he might be able to come back. Because he'll be doing enough damage to take out these Hunters really quick. But it just depends on how much damage he takes. In this dome right here, wow. Alrighty, well I think he's got plenty of loops, but he's going to go in straight for the Trapper right here to try and get him down so he can escape. Good shield coming in from Hank.
So let's just take a look at the skills right now so that you guys can see what's going on. We have 2 Lightning, 1 Banshee, 1 Aftershock, 2 Vortex coming in as he's trying to be the Thunder Smite. As he's going down, Lightning Strikes are coming out, hitting LV. LV's trying to get healed up and shielded. Everything's going out, trying to get anything he can. However, they're slowly whittling through this armor. Aftershocks are being thrown. Connects on 1. Gets dropped out. Shields, though, coming out of Jesus. Jesus keeping everyone alive, being the Holy Savior. Going in for LV, though. Connects with the Lightning. Gets him low, and there's the first down, and it goes on Crow, which is a huge play. That means that he can not only leave the dome early, but he can actually get that down, build it up, and gain some momentum in this game where he's having such a rough start at.
Yeah, now he needs to go get as much food in as possible, get to that Stage 3 Evo, and just evolve and get more armor. He needs something right now. I mean, that was good plays, but he did still take damage. He's like, is it a half a bar?
Yeah, and they're just getting melted in that mortar. He just poked behind the rock to try and get some snacks. Broke line of sight on Hank, but Torvald launched a mortar shot at him, which just kind of finished it and clutched it down. He's going to go down for some 4 meets right now. Goes in for the Tyrant. Oh, no, the Tyrant got a bite off. And Tentuki's right there with the shotgun, ready to interrupt. He's just getting slivers of health just drained for him. He's down to about half a bar, if less. He's living for some hurt right now. These are some choppy times for the Kraken. This Kraken's in a cage in this armory, just getting poked around, kept up with Tentuki. Like, their mobility on this map is just showing their positioning is so key and critical. They've been ready for this, ready since last week where they played against them, and they just want their vengeance.
And those Valve Tranks are just so punishing on this Kraken right now. Giving him like that slow speed, not being able to get away is just awful, and that's going to be a win for the Hunters.
And that does make it a 1-0 lead in favor of JSMS going into the next round, which means that it's currently 1-0. We don't have an update from the other side, but we'll get that information to you in just a minute for those of you watching live. Those of you watching the VODs, we'll give you an update in the next video. So, yeah, but if you look at the course of the video, we see immediately as soon as that dome occurred, we just see the health just deteriorate. It just went off the cliff right down, and if you look at the Hunter team, we weren't able to see much damage being dealt from our monster player Source TV just because of the Hank shields and how quickly Val was healing everyone. The closest person that got it down was actually LV, who did everything they could to try and survive, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough against the Source TV monster.
No, he just it was out first dome. He kind of ran out at a bad position and they just landed it perfect. Maybe if he had gone the other direction, it would have been more he could have run around, but he just ran into the perfect trap. Like it was so well placed.
But that when it comes down to discipline, guys. But for now, for those of you watching live, stay tuned. For those of you in the VODs, this is where we do the quick fade and fade out that you guys love because it makes those videos a lot shorter for you. So we'll be back in a bit, guys. Stay tuned, stay awesome, stay fresh, and we'll be back briefly just after that quick fade and fade out. So toodles.